you for taking my call. Before we continue, could you say the first and third digits of your security pin? Oh, I didn't catch that. Sorry. That's the second and fourth, please. Okay, lovely. All gone through. Did you see what I did there?
It's a scam. Never reveal your full security PIN, even if you think it's your bank calling. Learn how to protect yourself from fraud.
Oh, why do I bother? In today's breaking truths, big man Earth apologist returns with another terrific Slop video. I love you, God bless yourself. And in today's breaking truths, I really am falling apart here, dear viewer. Social media goes down under for Oz teens. Yeah, this was coming for a while. I think I posted about it in my End of the Internet mini-series. I guess this is sort of like the spiritual successor. The end of the Internet. The Internet ends more. Yeah, children are now being booted off of social media in Australia. I, of course, fully support this. I think it doesn't go far enough. I don't think children should be on the internet full stop. I think the internet is a learning tool for our kids. It should be readily available in IT suites, in public libraries, maybe internet cafes. Yeah, create safe space for kids. You know, like, I don't know, after school internet cafes or something. Bring that back, maybe. I don't know. You cannot, on any level, convince me children ages 5 to 16 should be like hooked up like a fucking IV to a glowing doom rectangle. You cannot convince me that that is like a good thing that we should support. So I fully endorse Albanese, yeah, the little penfold individual over there, just taking the tablets, taking the smartphones, taking the iPods, taking the Go-Go's and the Gizmos and the fidgets and the poggers. I completely support the geezer doing that. And it doesn't go far enough, frankly. Kids should not be online. They shouldn't. And I think more generally speaking, dear viewer, we need to move to a post-internet world. Now, we're never getting rid of the internet. We haven't got rid of the printed press or the radio. So best believe we're not getting rid of the internet. But I think we do need to reevaluate our relationship with this technology. I would like to see, as a society, we move back to the way it was in the mid to late 90s. The internet was this thing. It was this sort of novel, new bit of kit. And you could, I don't know, buy books off of Amazon.com. You may have heard of it. It's like this new book retailer. It's online. Don't ask me what online is. It's like this World Wide Web thing. Jeff Bezos there in a cupboard in his mother's house with this great idea for a website, Amazon.com. Look at what it's become, dear viewer. And I think we need to move back to that, frankly. I would like to see a world where the internet is once again just a thing in our lives. It isn't a substitute for our lives. Is he fucking with the bathtub again? Sorry about this. No, it was a false alarm. It's just my Portuguese neighbours causing a mischief next door. I can't blame him, really. I blast a Royal Britannia full volume from a fucking ghetto blaster at 4 a.m. So I like to think of it as sort of like asserting dominance, right? Royal Britannia, Britannia's really good. We are better than everyone else in the world.
Did you pick up your pencil case?
Mum, there's no hot water again.
Oh, great. The boiler's on the blink again. Can't afford to get it fixed until payday. What am I going to do? Quick, think. OK, you'll have to smell today, but I'll get someone out later to look at it.
Restore some order with a short-term loan from Quickquid. Find out more at quickquid.co.uk.
We need to move back to the way it was in the 90s, where the internet, like radio, like board games, like television, like literature, like long strolls or 45 vinyls, it was just a part of our lives. It wasn't a part of our lives, if you catch my drift, right? We've become way too ingratiated with this technology. Case in point, you're listening to me on the internet. Do you see what I mean? And I'm, like, relatively speaking now, I'm relatively, like, abstinent. I don't have a MySpace. I don't have AOL. I don't have Tumblr. I don't have any of this nonsense. I don't have, like, pogstar.com. I'm not signed up to any of these websites. I don't have a TikTok. I don't have an Instagram. I don't have a Snapchat. I don't have any of this bollocks. This platform, this platform is the only sort of social media I engage with. So, you know, I consider my internet use too high. And I don't use the internet that much, considerably, you know, compared to your average 16-year-old down under. So I completely endorse this 100%. It doesn't go far enough. You cannot make an argument for children being on the internet. You simply can't. And the argument of but what about kids in abusive households? Absolutely, there should be more safeguarding in schools. Schools should be a safe place for children, you know. And when I'm Prime Minister, there will be mandatory mental health screening once a year for every single child in every single school. It's going to be wonderful, dear viewer. We're going to take mental health as seriously as it desperately needs to be fucking taken. All right? And we're going to have early onset mental health screening with professional counsellors, right? It's going to be wonderful. Every, like, public school will have a designated number of mental health counsellors. We're going to take on the mental health crisis that is tearing apart families. It's tearing apart the very social fabric of our nation. We're going to take this seriously, okay? Because it's an epidemic. Mental illness is a disease. And how do you treat disease, dear viewer, my dear darling view piglet? You treat it with healthcare, yeah? It's very simple. I'm a common sense extremist, all right? And that's what we need in number 10, dear viewer. But yeah, another element is make the paedophiles work for it. You know what I mean? Social media is basically DoorDash for child molesters. It's like Deliveroo for paedophiles, right? Back in the 70s, these paedophiles really had to, like, work for their, you know what I mean? They had to work to keep the habit alive. They had to obtain a windowless van. They had to obtain a puppy or kitten. They had to buy, I'd imagine, at least a few bags of sweets. And then they had to wait outside of schools, primary, secondary, pick your poison, really, for hours at a time sometimes. And not every paedophile was guaranteed, you know what I mean, to abduct a child when all was said and done. Some of them, you know, they weren't up for the challenge. So make paedophiles work again, right? If you're going to try and predate on our children, I expect blood, sweat and tears and nothing else, and no other fluid. And obviously I hope they get caught, as they fucking well should. But that is a part of this that I don't think we're talking about. Child grooming on the internet is absolutely rife. As you'd expect, right? You leave your infant glued to a glowing doom rectangle for 17 hours a day and then wonder why they end up maladjusted. Wonder why they're getting into cars with strange crusty old men, right? Driving down the road in a beat up old Chevy, you never see him again, right? Social media makes it scary how easy it is to groom children. It's, again, I've said it once, I'll say it 1,000 times to Sunday, dear viewer. It is DoorDash for paedophiles. So I fully endorse culling these websites of said children. Because ultimately, the way I see it, dear viewer, I'm a realist. You are always going to have crusty perverts and register evaders on the internet. Having children on the internet is a choice. We choose to let children on the internet. Okay? So we either get rid of the kids or we just accept some children will be disappeared in the back of a beat up old fucking Chevy, right? No, that's unacceptable. Social media is Deliveroo for register evaders.
Still looking for cheaper car insurance? Haven't you heard? Hastings Direct has been named as the cheapest car insurance provider for 2005. 0800 00 1066. 4 out of 5 people could save on their car insurance by calling Hastings Direct. Why not see how much you could save?
I'm exhausted. How long have I done? 10 minutes. Fucking hell. In other truths, and on that very topic, YouTube AI quote Slop. Aimed at babies could impact their perception of what's real and what isn't. Say anyone with eyes. Say child development experts. Really now. Stating the bleeding obvious makes you a fucking child development expert. Turns out when you sort of stick an infantine in front of like a Pandora's like glowing death rectangle, they end up like stupid and ill. Oh wow. If what's being wired into their brains is a bunch of crap, it's going to impact their understanding of the world. This annoys me now. How much have they been paid to give this quote-unquote expertise opinion? Really? Oh, dear viewer. We really are at that place in society where having any sort of semblance of common sense makes you a fucking expert. Yeah, this has shocked everyone involved. Everyone thought just like hooking up their baby like is bloody life support to what is it, Italian brain rot memes. Yeah, it turns out they don't end up being the next Mozart. And on the topic of fucking hell, it's hot. Oh, Jesus Christ, I'm sweating here. On the topic of the conditions in which I fucking perform for you, dear viewer. And do I get rewarded? Do I bloody well sod? On the topic of AI sludge, on the previous video, I did make mention of something I had no immediate on-hand reference to. I have, since scrolling on my YouTube feed, found a reference. Is Nigel Farage finished? Funny you'd say that. He does look a bit well done, doesn't he? He does have sort of the complexion of a Yorkshire pudding. It's quite strange. Here is a thumbnail that came up on my feed featuring an AI amalgam that kind of resembles Nigel Farage. So speaks a lot himself. And the more you look at it, the more it stops making sense, Right? Do you ever get that? You look at someone's face for long enough and they stop looking like a person. That is especially true with these AI remalgams. And this is what really does perplex me about the whole AI thing. You need a special Whittle Bobot to draw you an image of a person you could readily find on Google Images. You could just ask Jeeves or Bing, Nigel Farage looking a little bit glum. I guarantee you, in the billion images floating about on Google, at least some of them meet that criteria. Right, in all the digital detritus and the sludge, I am positive you can find a real definitive article image of Sir Speak-a-Lot, Nigel Farage, creme de la Kremlin, looking a little bit sad, right? Maybe the image where he almost died in a plane crash, perhaps. Or was it a helicopter? I forget. He didn't look happy there, right? There's one off the top of my head. So I'm going to do a little live experiment. Live in video, because the only reason I would assume people are doing this is because it's quicker. It's quicker to ask a little machine in your pocket to draw you a thumbnail, because evidently you're incapable. You need to be fucking babied by a machine. Fuck me. I'm going to ask ChatGPT to draw me a photograph of Nigel Farage. And while it makes that quote-unquote photograph, yeah, a little bit of wordplay there, I'm going to go to Google Images and I'm going to find an organic, homegrown, yeah? None of this battery farm Nigel Farage nonsense. We're going for real, wholesome, homegrown, organic Nigel Farage imagery. I'm going to find an image and I want to see which takes longer for me to find/generate. So we're going to ChatGPT. Ask ChatGPT, can you create me a photograph of Nigel Farage looking ... a little bit glum ? It might not let me do it. I hope it lets me do it. It's creating the image. Go. Nigel Farage glum image. And I found one. I found two, as a matter of fact. Slate.com. Download image. And now we patiently wait. I found three. He looks glum a lot, actually, come to think of it. And now we patiently wait for ChatGPT to draw me a photograph of Nigel Farage looking a little bit glum. And we wait. Because the only reason I could imagine solemn portrait of Nigel Farage, sign me up. Right, on screen is the AI amalgam of Sir Speak-a-Lot, the walking, talking man, Nigel Farage. This took approximately 37 seconds and about 4 gallons of water. And in the blue corner, here is an image I found on Google Images. And it took about, time me, gentlemen, time me. It took me about 7 seconds. So I can't imagine why you need a robot to make you an image of a bloke who actually exists. Fair enough if you're making an AI depiction of something that didn't happen, right? You've seen the amalgams of Donald Trump going down on Bubba, for instance. That is a kosher use of artificial intelligence if I've ever fucking seen it. Nigel Farage looking glum, readily available on Bing, mate. You could just Bing that. You could just get Bing to get you the image. So I'm really at a loss. Comment below, why do people do this? You don't need to be a graphic designer working with high profile companies to create the thumbnail on screen. I promise you, you could make that in Paint. And I'm not fucking with you. So comment below, I'm interested in the psychology. What is the psychology that makes people use AI when we've just proven it live on air, dear viewer? Going to Google is quicker. It takes less time. And, not that I would ever evoke the ghost of morality on this channel, it does hurt the environment less as well. So if you like having a planet to live on, that's always a plus. But yeah, comment below, what's going on there? Why do people do that? Because I've used AI slop in my thumbnails. Of course I fucking have. But it's usually depicting something humorous, a little bit absurdist, and something I couldn't find on Google Images. You know what I mean? If I can find it on Google Images, I'll just get a Google image. In other troves, speaking of Epstein, speaking of paedophiles working hard round the clock, Jeffrey Epstein will not be added in the next Minecraft update. I know many people on the internet are upset about this. I heard a lot of discourse going on. They added cherry blossoms, but Mojang won't add Jeffrey Epstein, and I do agree with.
Surf between the TV and the internet. Well, I've got to keep up with the gossip.
In other troves, ist wieder da. I believe that translates to look who's back. And this is Shadman. Shadman has allegedly resurfaced, much like sewage rising to the top of all the detritus in this fucking digital sewer. No one wants this bloke back, but he's back apparently. For those not in the loop, Shadman drew real, biblically accurate children in let's say sexually compromised positions. He essentially drew actual real life children being violated sexually. One famous case was Keemstar's daughter at 7 years old. Yeah, he drew a real life child being sexually assaulted. And as much as I do hate this guy, right, I did a video a long time ago. I will get round to reposting it. It was a classic example of the last honest man on the internet flying too close to the sun. They had to shut it down. I did expose the Shadlocks, right? Shadman very much is the internet Epstein. That's what he is. He had so many high profile connections online. Most of your favourite YouTubers, I guarantee you, dear viewer, are in the Shadlocks. And I was exposing that almost 2 years ago now. No one gave a fuck. Typical. I bring the truths to you, and then about 8 months later, your favourite shit shoveler brings you the same truths with none of the riz, with none of the aura, and you eat it up. You view piglets up to your nose in shite. You can't get enough of the slop when it's Eye Nibbler or Hello, I'm Alex, or whoever's the new guy, Moist Penguin. Right, when it's Moist Penguin, you fucking eat it up, you dullard. When I bring it to you months in advance, no one cares. So you got to like, dislike, comment and subscribe to hear it here first from the last honest man on the internet. But as much as I do hate this Shadman individual, I don't think it's fair to compare him to Adolf Hitler. Because at least Adolf Hitler had the spine to kill. The AI studio behind Coca-Cola's latest Christmas advert says it's, quote, no different from traditional filmmaking. Secret Level founder said that human artistry remains, quote, at the core of the ad, adding it's not just saying a series of words and pressing buttons. And this, of course, had a reader's added context note attached to it. Despite Secret Level's claims of, quote, human artistry, at the core of the ad, a now deleted behind-the-scenes video released by them, claiming to showcase said, quote, human artistry, contains copious amounts of misleading and AI-generated footage assets. and production art. What do you think about that? I've seen the Coca-Cola advert. I'm sure you've seen the Coca-Cola advert. It's dreadful. It's dreadful. As someone who keeps a beady eye on the development of AI, it's not even good AI video. Like, I say this without any like pomposity here. I have ruined the environment making better AI than Coca-Cola, and I'm not fucking with you. It's sort of like late 2023 era AI, where it's kind of all jiggly and it's not quite consistent with its lines, and like the faces are changing in sort of almost pseudo-demonic fashion. It's weird. It's really fucking bizarre. It's not good AI. And I feel this is misleading because AI has gotten better than this. And people, you know, the general public are going to see this and think, oh, what's the worry? This is evidently AI. This is clearly AI. I can tell it's AI. AI was this good about 2 years ago now. So, I mean, when one of the biggest corporations can't even pay for the monthly subscription on Dream Theater, is that one of the AI video generators? Dreamtheater.io, probably. When they can't even be fucked to pay the full price subscription, they're using the freebie from like early 2024, and it shows. Yeah, I mean, this is what capitalists do. They cut corners everywhere as frequently as possible. And this advert shows it. So, I mean, it's been advertised to me. I'm sure you've seen it if you are stupid enough to not use ad block, I guess. The thing I don't get, why is Coca-Cola advertised at Christmas? Now, I may be an outlier here. Christmas time, it's time for hot beverages. It's time for Schlur. Oh, dear viewer, do you remember Schlur? Yeah, I think Schlur is actually made by the Coca-Cola company. Schlur. I'm pretty sure it's a Coca-Cola beverage. Schlur's good, innit? Oh, my bad. It's not a Coca-Cola beverage. What am I thinking of? It's not Schlur. Apple Ties. Yeah, Apple Ties is made by Coke. Schlur is a Christmas fizzy beverage, right? We can all agree on that. It's brandy. It's Bacardi. It's Schlur. We like Schlur. Yeah. I got my X account terminated. It was all those Schlurs. Oh dear. This one's been, like, I say this a lot, and I think the fact I say it a lot is telling, but this really is the worst episode I've ever fucking made. But I don't understand why Coca-Cola advertises in winter. Am I the outlier? Am I the fucking maniac here? I don't want Coca-Cola when it's like Soviet winter.
Harry, I'm on my way.
Closing. How long have I done?
A phone?
Almost half an hour. Yeah, the latest desperate attempt for Katy Perry remaining relevant leads her to bedding Justin Trudeau. Once again, you heard it here first, dear viewer, I was covering this about 2 months ago now. There were burblings that they were spotted at some concert, hard making out. Then they were seen on a yacht, hard making out. And then I very brilliantly, in a very debonair, lovable way, made a joke about how they're probably having the most mediocre sex of their lives as we speak, dear viewer. You remember it? You remember maybe, chuckling perhaps. A mild grin appears on your face and then vanishes. Yeah, like passerbys in the street. And I've been covering this for months. Yeah, she's desperate to remain relevant. I've been keeping an eye on the dying career of Miss Perry. And this is without doubt her most effective attempt to stay relevant yet, because this is the first people in the pop culture zeitgeist are actually talking about her. So, thank you, Mr. Trudeau, for taking the bullet. single-handedly reviving Katy Perry's career with his lovely big smile. And I will now repeat a classic line from another video no one saw. When the rest of the world was saying fuck Justin Trudeau, Katy Perry was a woman of action. Anyway, I love you, God bless yourself, and as usual, get these videos out there, please.
This program was made possible by contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.